Hey everyone, and welcome to episode number 8 of the Hardcore Iron Man series. As you can see by the title of this video, this is the finale of the series. And for a non-maxed hardcore, that can only mean one thing, but we'll get to that later. The footage in this episode was meant to span episodes 8 and 9, but for reasons you'll soon see, it's been condensed down into one episode. Last episode, we started heading towards Curses, and we pick up this episode with me going for 60 Slayer so I can start training range more quickly. With 60 Slayer achieved, that unlocks us the Aberrant Spectres, which I decided that I would head to for a couple of reasons. First of all, they are really good for dropping a lot of herbs, so herb lore will be made a bit easier by having a ton of these. And then of course, the range XP that you get is pretty good from here, and I needed 64 to do Curse of Arav, so yeah. And there is 64, let's head off and do the first set of quests in today's episode. We start off with a nice easy quest, the Golem. This gives us a little bit of XP, but the main unlock you get from this quest is being able to steal Phoenix Feathers. They are used to make super antifires, obviously a little ways off the herb lore level, but it is available. The next quest is one of those quests that I hate with, a bunch of waiting in the middle, so you can't just do the quest, you have to go off and do something else. Is Garden of Tranquility. Here we have the first half of the garden growing, while waiting for all the favour plants to be grown all around Galenor. We went off to try and get a Chaos Talisman. The living rock crabs in the Chaos Dungeons are a good and easy source of the middle tier talismans, as well as dropping 3 charms at a time for summoning. Before getting the Chaos Talisman, I actually got the Nature Talisman and 80 Magic, which, while not useful at the moment, I'll be able to use that Nature Talisman to make my own Nature Runes. After about 20 minutes or so, I got that Chaos Tally and went off to do the next bit of Garden of Tranquility. Okay, everything is now growing in the garden, but there's still some more waiting to do, so in the meantime, we're gonna make use of that Chaos Tally to do the What Lies Below quest. Nothing massively important from this one, but it's on the road to Curses, so it needs doing. And with that done, we can go off and finish Garden of Tranquility. Right, Ring of Charos is activated, we can move on to Missing My Mummy, which we need to do to 100% completion for the Curses questline. Cool, so that is Centilin fully repaired, I suppose that's the right word for it. Either way, it's done, which means we can go and hand in this quest. Nothing massive from it, just a quest point and a little bit of XP. But now it's time to do the Abyss mini quest, which of course means going into the wilderness. Let's go.
Run.
Whew! Made it through that perilous 15 seconds in the wilderness. Abyss mini quest complete, so we can now move on to Temple of Ikov. This was another really simple one to do. Got the Boots of Lightness, decent chunk of XP from this one actually. Following the Temple of Ikov, we got a look at some beautiful Jagex scenery panning as we complete the Defender of Varrock quest. We got ourselves a nice hunter level from this, but little else aside from that. The next quest to do was the Curse of Arav, which we have one requirement left to get, that is 64 strength, so another trip to ED3 was due. I wanted to go there with some better gear than my tier 60 stuff, so I raced up to 70 smithing and made myself a full set of Necronium armor. There it is, let's go and get 64 strength. It's time for Curse of Arav, and I massively overestimated how hard this fight would be. I even brought nature runes to entangle Arav so I wouldn't get whacked, but honestly, it was so easy I just needn't have bothered. So quest complete, which just leaves 4 quests to do to get curses. The first is Wanted, which for the life of me I cannot find the footage for. Next up was Devious Minds, which was fairly simple, another trip into the wilderness to get to the lore altar, successfully survived. Quest complete, 2 to go. First up was Desert Treasure, for which I needed some magic logs. I had a couple of options of how to get them. The first was killing KBD until I got them as a drop, and the other was training up to 75 woodcutting and cutting them manually. Being the lover of the grind that I am, I decided to train up to 75 woodcutting, because not only would it let me get the magic logs with less of a risk to my life, but I would also need to get 75 woodcutting for Plague's End down the line anyway, so I thought it was just worth getting. 75 woodcutting achieved, magic logs obtained. It's time to get ourselves those 4 diamonds and head off and get ancient magics. Desert Treasure complete. We have Ancients, we have a big old chunk of Magic XP, we have 3 quest points, but most importantly, we're 1 quest away from getting curses. Temple at Sandstone is the final quest we need, and there's only 1 more requirement we need for that. 125 kudos at Varrock Museum. So I cleaned a bunch of artifacts at the museum on the ground floor, I talked about all the quests that I had done to the guy on the top floor, and then I went and I did the quiz down in the basement. We have 126 kudos, so it's time to go and do the quest. This quest was super easy for what we get out of it. You basically just need to do a Barrows run, which we've been doing for a few episodes now, so no worries there. And then we needed to do 1 more big puzzle, which again was fairly okay, and then turn it in to finish off the grind. And there we go, we have our curses. That is the end of this chapter of this grind. We are ready to move on to something else. The next thing I wanted to do was get invention, so I had to get enough ores to get myself up to 80 smithing, and this is as far as I got before I went away for one fateful weekend. Okay, this is where it's going to get hard for me to commentate over what happened. As you can see, the screen is black. There's no more footage. And that's because I arrived back from my weekend away, and I was confronted with one of the Discord chats that I'm in, giving me a bunch of Fs. A bunch of Fs in the chat, which I was really confused as to why, until I was sent this message. Yeah, the hardcore's dead. All I can assume that happened is while I was away, somebody managed to hack into the account, and they didn't even need to move me very far. Looking at what killed me, it was a feral vampire. I was already in Mauritania mining some phasmatite, so they could have just got on, realised that it wasn't a main that they could exploit money out of, and they just decided to kill it. Yeah, that's... It's not the way I wanted it to end, I'll be entirely honest. I wanted to at least if someone was going to hack it, they could have like let me die to like Virago or Araxor or, you know, something cool. But no, Feral Vampires it was. And yeah, there's nothing I can do about it now. There's no getting it back. I never bought myself an extra life. I never bought myself the item that turns you into a regular Iron Man, so as you can see by the message, it's gone permanently. It's gone forever. Yeah. So for one last time, let's take a look at the stats. So the account ended with 64 attack, 70 defense, 66 strength, 77 HP, 68 range, 56 prayer, 82 magic, really proud of that, 83 cooking, 75 woodcutting, just the level for Plague's End, and then we died, 59 fletching, 64 fishing, 52 fire making, 64 crafting, 70 smithing, 80 mining, 58 herblore, 62 agility, 81 thieving, 62 slayer, 61 farming, 62 rune crafting, 53 hunter, 38 construction, 43 summoning, dungeoneering 75, divination 75, never unlocked invention, and this account never got the joys of playing archaeology. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, there is one ray of sunshine, which those of you who've been watching since the very first episode may remember that way back in the very first 10 seconds of the series, I said this. On the 12th of January, I created my third hardcore Iron Man. My first one has died, my second one is actually still alive and I'm still playing it. My second one is actually still alive and I'm still playing it. Still alive and I'm still playing it. Oh yes, there is another hardcore Iron Man in my possession. Now this is the Iron Man that I mentioned back in episode 1, as one that I already had and was still playing. So this one is still alive, it is in a much better position than the old one, and I'm going to use this one to race up to 99 archaeology among Iron Men, and from now on the series is going to follow this Iron Man. I'm sorry that we're basically skipping out a bunch of the mid game, but I think that's probably the least enjoyable bit to watch anyway, so you know we've kind of skipped ahead of it. I'll show you the stats on this account in a second, but yeah, we're now going to be following this one, and hopefully this one will stay hack free, and I've actually put Authenticator on this one to make sure that even if somebody does somehow get a hold of the username and password, there is no way that they're getting in and killing the account. So let's go and take a look at the stats of the new series Iron Man, i.e. basically my old Iron Man. But here we go. In terms of combat, we're up in the 90 range. We have 91 attack, 92 defense. We then only have 75 range and we have 75 magic, both those need work. 80 strength, decent enough, 90 hit points. We have ourselves 75 agility, 75 herblore. Basically you can tell I was going towards Prif. I'm a couple of 75s away from that at the moment. We still need summoning for that, and we also still need prayer. Prayer is a long way off, but I'm going to do that all in one fell swoop after I do some more big game Hunter and Vindictor to get myself some bones. 85 Hunter, 86 Divination, 79 Dungeoneering. We've unlocked Invention a while ago as well. We have 61 Invention. We have ourselves 90 Rune Crafting, which I got to get myself the greater runic stuff because of how much I hate questing. I have 93 smithing and 98 mining, purposely left just below 99 so that I can have the untrimmed cape in archaeology. Because of this change to the new account, and because the levels are so much higher, there is going to have to be some sacrifice made, at least early on. It's going to have to be an episode every 2 weeks instead of every week. And that's just simply because it will take significantly more time to make progress on a high level account. And also, I now don't have any episodes stocked up for when archaeology comes out. I still have the plan of releasing one episode after archaeology where I go from level 1 all the way up to 99 in one go. A couple of things that this account is long behind the other account that's now dead is, first off, magic. It is actually 75 instead of the old one had 82. And quest points, I'm not even going to reveal how few it's got, but let's just say that I still have to use my Greater Ruinic because I don't actually have a Vanquish yet. That's how little I've actually quested this account, and that's going to be something that we'll see in the first couple of episodes before we head into the archaeology. So I hope you're not too disheartened by the fate of the old account, and the fact that this series will now be going to once every 2 weeks instead of once every 1 week, but that now means that I will have some other uploads. Down in the comments, I want you to suggest what kind of content you want me to make, whether it be something more Mainscape related, whether it be some informational videos, and I do actually already have plans underway to do some more community based stuff, so if you want to be involved in that, especially if you are a YouTuber or a streamer in any way, then make sure you hit me up in game and we will try and get some stuff sorted. So that is it for essentially what I'm going to call Season 1 of the Hardcore series. Season 2 is going to be following the new Hardcore. I hope you all enjoy Season 2, and by all means go back and watch Season 1. It has been a fun ride while it lasted, short and sweet I think it was. But we gotta move on, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks probably for the first episode of Season 2.